Welcome to CBS This Morning on another historic day in Washington. In just a few hours, House Democrats will unveil 2 articles of impeachment against President Trump. Sources tell CBS News the inquiry led by Congressman Jerry Nadler and Adam Schiff will accuse the president of abuse of power and obstruction of Congress.
This is happening one day after the House Judiciary Committee met to review the evidence. Under the Democrats' timeline, Mr. Trump could be formally charged next week. Yesterday, the president once again called the process a, quote, disgrace to our country. Nancy Cordes is on Capitol Hill for us again. Nancy, good morning. What else do we know?
Well, Democratic sources tell CBS News that they have decided to narrow the scope of impeachment. So that means likely no bribery, no obstruction of justice. Instead, they will be focusing on what they say is his abuse of his position and his decision to try to keep that information from Congress.
The danger to our democracy is clear, and our duty is clear.
Less than a day after laying out the evidence for lawmakers,
President Trump's conduct sought to undermine our free and fair elections.
Democrats will reveal their articles of impeachment, focusing on what they say was the president's abuse of his office for personal gain.
Who ordered his own chief of staff, Mick Mulvaney, to withhold critical military assistance for Ukraine?
President Trump.
Who personally asked President Zelensky to investigate his political rival, Joe Biden?
President Trump.
So as it relates to President Trump, is he an incidental player or a central player in this scheme?
President Trump is the central player in this scheme.
I think Mr. Burke,
As impeachment nears, tensions are rising.
we want Schiff in that chair, not you.
Republicans accusing the majority of steamrolling them.
You weren't elected by anybody, and you're here giving this testimony in place of the chairman.
Republicans insist the evidence is inconclusive.
At best, the impeachment inquiry record is riddled with hearsay, presumptions, and speculation.
Democrats say the opposite is true.
Go ahead.
There's a lot of direct evidence, and a lot of the evidence that they say is hearsay is actually not hearsay.
Speaker Pelosi said last night she won't pressure any of her members to vote to impeach.
On an issue like this, we don't count the votes. People will just do what they do.
Now, there are a couple of steps before we get to that full House vote the Speaker was talking about. After the articles of impeachment are laid out this morning, the House Judiciary Committee will have to debate on and vote on those articles. That vote will likely happen this Thursday. If the articles are approved in committee, they would then go to that full House vote, which could happen early next week. That would set the stage for a trial in the Senate early next year. Tony.
Nancy, thank you very much. And CBS News will bring you the announcement of the articles of impeachment in a special report. We expect it to begin at 9 a.m. Eastern, 8 o'clock Central Time.